Coggins, a founder and one of the people that helped develop virtual reality. And today I'd like to introduce Gopi and let Gopi tell you all about himself.
Hi, my name is Gopireddy. I'm a real estate professional and been in the industry for the last 20 years, and I have my own brokerage. I do residential, commercial, business, and land buying and selling, and I also have a radio show on 11:70 a.m. Which airs on Mondays at 7 p.m. and Saturdays from 11:30 a.m. to 12. I've been working with a lot of deep pocket investors and buyers, sellers, and do, as I mentioned, residential, commercial, land, and business buying and selling.
All right, and my name is Philippe Van Loo. I'm the lead developer, and I helped co-create the Closer VR camera that we use.
All right, that's awesome. That sounds like I met Guy recently, and then I was so excited to kind of know he was talking, giving some introduction about your technology, the awesome films that you produce, and so on. So why don't you give a little bit more in depth about what this technology is, what it brings, and what's new about it?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So the Closer VR camera, which unfortunately I don't have an example of right now, but we can put a picture up right here, and this is a camera that I co-created with Dave Arondosh, and it's patent pending. But the idea is that we wanted the camera to be something that didn't off-put people. We wanted it to be a very natural experience for people. But the problem is that I've seen other camera designs, such as what I call the 12-agon camera, or there's pairs of cameras in a hexagon arrangement like this. But what makes ours different is that it sort of look like this, but we have 3 on one tier and 3 on another. Dave had the idea of putting them on 2 different tiers. What happens is that shrinks the rig from something this big to something about the size of your head. And so what the importance of that is that it makes what you see in VR a very more natural experience, because with something this big, when you turn your head, you normally turn your head like this, but with something that's big, you're turning like this, and that's not very natural. It just doesn't feel right. And not only that, with something this big, and particularly with what I call the 12-agon rig, you can't get very close. Now, when I want to have a conversation with someone, I don't want to be this close, but with the 12-agon rig like this, the closest you can get to is maybe like this far. So that's about 2 meters or so. And who wants to have a conversation 2 meters away from someone? So ever since Dave had the idea of putting it on 2 tiers, that's when everything clicked for us, and that's when we started having a very positive response from everyone. And again, when people see the other style of camera rig, they don't know why it seems weird, but it just feels weird. And we don't want to give people that kind of a negative experience. We want them to go into virtual reality with a very positive experience and, from start to finish.
And project as much naturally as possible, and yeah.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
That's understandable. So it's a remarkable breakthrough, remarkable. I mean, we are all in Silicon Valley, and we are all, people want to be innovators and whatnot. So that's a good, good thing that you have come up with these. So what are the applications of these?
Well, the applications for virtual reality are really endless. It's like just any standard video camera. But my main goal as a virtual reality filmmaker is I want the camera, our Closer VR camera, to go anywhere and record anything. So anywhere where a normal person can't go, like on the front, on stage with the band, or in a dangerous location, like next to a volcano or something like that, I want to be able to put that camera there, but at the same time, have record something that people normally would be able to see. Or it could just be anywhere else too, like something, an experience that you want to replicate, like a real estate tour, for example, where you don't want to have to give the same tour over and over again. Or for training purposes, where you have to show, inserts gear A into slot B. You don't have to do that over and over again, but by recording it in virtual reality one time, it not only feels like you're there seeing the host doing it, but it'll be the same experience for everyone.
So that's so natural, and definitely any technology when it is invented new, it costs a little bit more, like in terms of like applications costs, and can you share any information on that?
Yeah, so we feel like we've got the pipeline down to where recording, editing, rendering, finishing shouldn't take that much more than just a standard video.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
There will be some extra steps because we're dealing with 13 individual cameras. We've got 6 pairs around in 360 degrees and one pointing up. We have to stitch those in different locations. They're going to be different stitch qualities and stuff like that. But if you know what you're doing, you can try to make sure that that doesn't affect the timeline for too long. I would say if we recorded a real estate tour or a tour of anywhere that had maybe 10 different scenes of like 2-3 minutes each at each scene, give it about 2-3 weeks from start to at least the first draft. And then after that, once everything's stitched, then it's just standard video.
Awesome. So what takes that much of time? Like which particular like an activity, stitching, or like what is it?
I'd say right now the hardest part is not so much the stitching, it's just going to be the rendering.
No.
Because you're dealing with 13 individual cameras that need to be stitched together frame by frame. And again, if you're dealing with 30 minutes worth of footage, that's going to be, you know, a bit of time. But a lot of that is just processing power, having the right graphics card, and a lot of that's going to get solved in due time.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah,
As we progress, it will become minimum. So in terms of cost, like, you know, how do you compare it to 3D, 2D, or virtual tools in the real estate industry? It will be like double the cost, or?
Well, we want to try to be as competitive as possible. We don't think that our cost is going to be that much more. And I would say the largest cost is just going to be time. And if you're willing to wait just a little bit extra, the final result will be 10 times the wait, worth the wait.
I'm sure, like, you know, we can mitigate that by doing the, you know, shoot out of the particular house before it comes onto the market, before it hits the market. So basically 2-3 weeks of time ahead, the landlord and the listing agent and you know, can figure out with your schedules, and then I think we can definitely overcome that.
Yeah, well, the best part is at least filming can be done in 1 day, 1-2 days at the most.
Right.
So if the listing agent, and if they want to, you know, spruce up the house for, heck, even for open house where they just put the right things in the right place, we just record that once as soon as they're done. 1 day, zoom out. You know.
So that sounds good, and also particularly in Silicon Valley, where a 5 million house is very common denomination. So like we have homes which are like 5, 10, 20, 30 million you know, worth of homes. So I think a special technology and you know, definitely the results it can potentially bring in definitely will be like, you know, worth you know, going for this and trying this technology and you guys.
Oh yeah, it'd be definitely worth it. Being in Silicon Valley gives us the right opportunities and the right mindset for people who are interested in testing out this technology and are willing to give us the time to try it out and refine it and get it together, so that in another 2, 3, 4, 5 years time, you know, it'll be even more perfect.
Awesome. So let's see the demo.
Okay, so you can just simply take a look at this little viewer, and you can see a real estate demonstration. So you were actually really there.
Thank you, Guy.
Look at that.
So yeah, in the meantime, as he's watching that,
Yeah, please go ahead.
you can watch it on glasses like this, or you can watch it on a VR headset like this. We've got multiple ways of doing it. We have,
Okay, what's your experience?
Oh, it's very, very different. So I'm just trying to absorb this new experience, and as the listing agent is doing a tour of the house and this technology. Biggest problems we have in Silicon Valley is a commute. So you don't want to, like, you know, this technology will help the potential prospective buyers to use this technology and then feel you know, every square inch of the house, and you're like, you know, really there in the house touring yourself. it's a very pleasant, real experience. And it's an awesome technology, guys, and congratulations for breakthrough. I hope and pray and wish that this takes off in a big way. And one of the applications is definitely for the listings of the homes in Silicon Valley, and even you're projecting the Cat5 wire Ethernet, and another screen pops up. So this is now more than natural, like. So it's very awesome. Congratulations, and I would recommend these tool for every real estate agent out there. You want to be like competitive, and you want to like distinguish yourself from other agents. No, I would certainly recommend this. Thank you.
And another feature that we can do with this is we can tailor the experience to however the real estate agent like. If they want a more natural experience with just the agent, that's perfectly fine too. On the flip side, we can always add little floating windows, like as you saw with the Cat5, for example, where extra information can be included just in case either, as we record, maybe the agent missed something or just some extra stuff on the side. We can always include that as just an extra feature. Plus it also includes other text, like right below you saw it was just a generic graphic, but then we can include pricing, we can include the base information that you don't want to have to repeat, like 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, that kind of stuff. All that can be included in the video as well.
It makes actually almost like you don't need even to do open house. You keep the doors open, or as if people prospects have come and visited the house. So you're almost eliminating commute times and wasting your time going from one house to another house, and this almost gives you a 90+% of accuracy.
Oh my god, exactly. It's because, like, again, if my dad was a real estate agent, that's the host of the show, and he was always talking about how he'd have this potential buyer come in. Okay, let's drive over here. Oh no, you don't like this. Oh, let's drive to this listing. No, you stay in the office. Here's the first list. You don't like it. Here's the second list. You don't like it. You can go through 10 times as much listings.
Very efficient
with virtual reality than just driving around.
I completely agree. Yes, Guy.
Anyway, you might want to listen to his radio show. 1170 AM is a clear channel station. That means you should be after dark, because the show starts at 7. After dark, you should be able to receive that from Mexico to Canada. It's one of the most powerful stations in the country.
That's 1170 AM, and my show name is also Creating Wealth Through Real Estate.
Excellent.
And one other way that we have an advantage over potential competitors is the fact that, unlike other systems where it's just a still experience where you can go to room, but it's just a very static, boring experience, we, on the other hand, because it's a video, we provide an actual proper experience, an actual tour with an actual real estate agent who's explaining everything to you, who's describing everything to you. It's the difference between a still photo and a video. So I think we have a great experience for real estate agents to share and really give a personal touch to their listing, virtual listing.
Definitely, I agree with that.
And other than that, I think that's about it. So thank you for your time. Be sure to share this video and like and subscribe. And thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for your time.